No matter where you are in the world, CSL Dallas is here as your spiritual home. As a reminder, each day is a day for transformation, spiritual deepening, and heart connection, no matter what's going on. Every day we learn and practice something meaningful, and that makes a difference. This month at CSL Dallas, we celebrate our annual Adventures in Spirit campaign. So all month long, we are declaring our prosperity and learning what it really means to live from a place of thriving. So let's prepare for today's celebration by putting your hands together for the CSL Dallas music team.
Oh, yeah, real smooth, real nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Follow the flow. Here we go. I will meet you with my heart, heart to heart. Let us meet again, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you with my soul, soul to soul. Let us touch again, and then may we behold more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you silently, breath to breath. Let us breathe as one, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you with my heart, heart to heart, heart to heart. Let us meet again, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you with my soul, soul to soul. Let us touch again, and then may we behold more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you silently, breath to breath. Let us breathe as one, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. More.
So I invite you to breathe with me, to breathe into that space of infinite potentiality, of infinite possibility, that place of expansion where we can become more of who we are. And what I know about that space is that it is grounded in unconditional love. It is centered in peace that passes all human understanding. And I know that each one of us this morning is that reflection, is that unique expression of that love, of that peace. Come here to be more of who I am, who you are, who we are as a community, growing together, heart to heart. And I know that that love extends out into this world, beyond the walls of this sanctuary, beyond the walls of Facebook and Zoom, spreading into lands that are currently experiencing discord and violence. And so I know and claim for the people of Israel, for the people of Palestine, that there is that unconditional peace. There is that unconditional love that knows no borders, that knows no boundaries. That is the truth of every person everywhere. And so I know that walls are dropped, borders are open, needs are met, heart to heart, people remember the truth of who they are, who they have come here to be. And I know that as we, CSL Dallas, stands in that place of peace and love, that it ripples out into the world, lifting every life. And so that is the place in which we gather this morning, becoming more of who we are right here and right now. And so if you, like me, stand in this place of truth, I invite you to claim with me, Ashe, Amen, Aho, and so it is.
I will meet you silently, breath to breath. Let us breathe as one, and then may we become more of who we are, 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 more of who we
Good morning, CSL Dallas. How are you doing? I'm glad to hear it. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm so glad the universe has made us cross paths again and bring us together. I'm Bakari Issa. I'll be your platform assistant for today. To begin, let's read our purpose statement together. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives, and so it is. Thank you. November is overflowing with special opportunities for spiritual growth. First up, our one-day women's retreat on Saturday, November 4th, is powerful, intimate, and creative space for connection designed by practitioners Sherry and Christine for women from our community. We had an amazing retreat last year, and we look forward to an even greater day at Spring Hill Retreat Center in a few weeks. Many of you love attending our weekly Wednesday night meditation with Dr. Petra. Now, join every Sunday night at 7 p.m. for meditation and connection online starting November 5th. Tune in via Zoom or YouTube to start your week relaxed and stress-free. You may have heard your favorite music duo is back. Reverend Michael Gott and Lainey Bernstein will be taking the stage on November 11th to share new music and familiar songs. In addition to their Saturday night concert, Michael and Lainey will be our guests during the Sunday morning celebration on November 12th. Woo. For all of these events, visit csldallas.org/events to learn more or sign up. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you've been connected to us for years, welcome. However you found us today, in person or online, we'd love to stay in touch with you. To stay in the know by following us on social media, leave us a Google review, and sign up for our weekly newsletter and inspirational text by filling out the Connect card. It's this, guys. It's going to be over there. The Connect card from the link in the chat online or at the welcome table on campus. Stay connected to all that is happening in CSL Dallas. Now, let's settle in this morning with our music team, Candy, Cleo, Jerry, and Val, and center with our practitioner, Sherry, would as we go within.
We're getting up again. From Michael Gotts. Oh, come on.
All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me.
Yes, it's true.
The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me.
You set free.
You've been set free, you're released.
Oh, yes, it's true.
You've been set free, you're released.
Oh,
The burden of your past has gone away at last. You've been set free, you're released.
oh,
Sweet rain that washes us clean.
can't you feel it coming down?
Sweet rain that washes us clean.
Oh,
The mind creates all things, into our lives it brings. Sweet rain that washes us clean. All that I need comes to me.
yes, it's true. Yeah.
All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me.
So it is.
Good morning. My name is Randy Craig, and I am serving happily as co-chair of this year's 2024 Adventures in Spirit pledge program. 2024, you say, Randy? Well, it's only 2023. Well, I'm glad you asked. Because this whole thing is about the grown-up responsible task of budgeting for calendar year 2024. That's why we use 2024. So, before we go spending willy-nilly with your money. Yeah. In the budgetary process that starts earlier in the year, the staff and CSL Dallas leadership go through and propose a a budget for 2024. And so they,
We got your slides out of order. I thought they were in this order. Hang on. There we go. No? Sorry. There.
that's not yet.
Oh.
We're not there yet. There we go. That's the one.
That's the one. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay. So we have goals, right? Which is a good thing in a budgetary program, right? And so the budget process starts earlier in the year, and we create a budget goal. And then we come together in the month of October, and we talk about prosperity and generosity, and we affirm together our goals for 2024. So along the lines of affirming those goals, I would love it if you would join me in stating out loud our oddly specific but divinely inspired but campaign goals of $820,255 and more, 186 pledgers and more. Okay, and so it is. Amen. All right. So, yeah, as that sort of budget process unfolds, some of the things that we talk about for use of that budget or things we want to focus on in the coming year. And so last week, my co-chair Dawn talked about our Journey of Youth program for our youth and teens, and that's a focus point for 2024. And the, excuse me, our second goal for 2024, or focus point, is really about spreading the message. And what that means is that we want to make sure that people who are seeking our message, that are seeking a spiritual home, are drawn to us, or we make ourselves available to us. And, you know, in our current reality, the way we operate as a society is really through the internet, through social media, through search engines. And so we have a focus on making sure that through those media that that we are available and that we are prominently displayed. I'm happy to say that if you were to go use Google to search for the phrase Spiritual Center Dallas, CSL Dallas would be the first returned entry in that list. Yeah, and that is not sponsored. It's organic, coming out of Google's search engine, and we want to focus on making sure that other phraseology, other context comes through as bringing us forward as available here and a place to come for the local area. The second portion of that is really a worldwide outreach through a new podcast starring our own Reverend Dr. Peter Weltis, and that's coming in the January-February timeframe, and it's going to be called Spirituality in the Real World, because that's really what we're all about here, is gaining an understanding of our spiritual nature and how it can play out into our regular lives. Now, back to the pledge program. So, we're all grown-ups in the room, yeah? Yep. As a community of grown-ups, we take responsibility for helping one another as we are able. A pledge is a promise. It's, I commit to CSL Dallas X number of dollars in the 2024 calendar year. That can be monthly, it can be a one-time gift, it can be semi-annually, it can be weekly. I choose to do mine bi-weekly because that's when I get paid. So it's basically, again, that grown-up process of we commit as a community to support one another and support CSL Dallas mission so that we can feed that information into our budgetary process. And again, no willy-nilly spending, right? But I don't want anyone here in the room or anyone online to enter into this promise with any feelings of obligation or guilt. That is not how we roll. Those aren't concepts that are consistent with Science of Mind teachings. What is consistent is having a new thought. And so, what my invitation to you is to leave guilt and obligation behind. Have a new thought about investment and uplifting support. Your pledge is a responsible grown-up investment in your own prosperity consciousness. Your pledge is a responsible grown-up investment in a community that supports you and inspires everyone it touches. If you've already pledged, thank you so much for giving and supporting this community. It means the world to me. If you haven't, you have questions about it, my wife Debbie and I will be in the breezeway to answer any questions you may have about the pledge program and the budgetary process. And with that, I want to introduce you to a wonderful community member, Rhonda Goodnight, who's going to share her story.
In the past, I was, the glass was half full. It was always, trying to solve problems. And when I came to CSL, I just learned new ways to live and how I could focus on what I wanted and turn away from the condition. It changed every aspect of my life. The relationships, finances, my vocation. I help people now in a way that I didn't even know was possible. My life has been transformed in every way. Learning to tithe and to give back where I'm spiritually fed has been a very powerful experience, because the more I committed to that, the more my experiences grew in a positive direction, and it's miracles every day now. I was always worried about, what's coming in, what's going out. And today, I don't focus on it as much as just getting to be of service to people, and the opportunities just came in ways that I never could have imagined. When I'm tithing, when I'm supporting the causes that matter to me, it's just that law of circulation, and it's bigger and better than I had imagined. And it's like you were saying, I have a woman that's helping me, and I paid her a little more because she was doing a little more, and she resisted that. And I just thought in my head, I'm paying you less than I pay to get my hair done, and you meet with me and give me so much, And so I really just sometimes when I have a heart-to-heart with her is, girl, value what you do, because it's amazing. And I've learned that here. I did not value anything I did. I mean, I didn't know if I was always questioning myself, am I a good mother? Am I a good employee? Am I a good, person even? I just was trying, but I wasn't sure. And today, with the principles that we've learned here, I don't question my value, and I know that I matter and that I can help others to see that too.
Okie dokie. And away we go. Hello. This is a song by Ginger Doss. It's called Thankful. And you have a definite part in it, and you'll figure it out. To begin, take a step, move ahead and do your best. There is power in intent. Use your dreams to reinvent. You are a child of light, shining brightness in the night. With the fire you can ignite, you will lead us to the light. There ain't nothing you can't do. Take your mind and put it to. See it here and be clear. In your heart be sincere and be thankful for the intimate power of the universe. Thankful that the power within is love. Thankful be an integral part of creation. To exist is a gift. Ain't life magnificent? We can shake and we can break. We can give and we can take. Good love got so much. We have hands and we can touch. Reaching out and building trust. And and can be taught. Find a way and to stay and be grateful every day. Thank God for the infinite power of the universe. Thank God for our friends and our family. Thank God for the time that we spend together. Thank God. So thankful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the power of love is real, and if you use it, you can heal. Said you're born with it, give it out. To get more of it, give it out. 'Cause there's more than enough for everyone. Get on in the flow and get you some. Said there's more of it, so give it out. Said there's more of it, and give it out. To you and the love is all around, going up and coming down. Found a way to make love stay and be grateful for our ways. For everything we have that's beautiful. For our friends and our family. For this wonderful life we live in. Thank God. Yeah. Can't you say thank God? You better sing, don't you stop. Right here, thank God. Right here. Never, 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 never stop here. Thank God. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, you better be, you gotta be thankful. Oh, stand in it. It's yours. Take it, feel it, give it, be it. It's everywhere. Thank God. I'm so
Woo! Andy Williams. Oh, I'm thankful for you and the music team and the CSL Dallas band. House band, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That was awesome. I'm thankful to this community. Oh my gosh, I can tell you I will never, ever, as long as I live, be able to give back to this community all that it's given to me. So I'm thankful. And I'm so grateful in that receiving and giving of life. We'll get to that in a second. How y'all doing? I'm thankful to be back in the house twice in October. Oh my God, so happy. All right, so our theme, as you know, in this Adventures in Spirit, and it is an adventure, isn't it? It's just, sometimes it feels like a roller coaster ride and scary, and, it's not like just relaxing on the beach, is it? Just like sipping a pina colada. It's an adventure in spirit, and so the theme for this whole month is thriving, and a state of being and thriving, like to grow vigorously, flourish. That's what it says when I looked it up. Prospering, not wanting for anything. I like that. I like that kind of thriving and state of being. Yes, Randy does for sure. And so we're focusing on thriving in the month of October. We do this in the fall, like harvest time, right? And we're focusing on thriving, and we're not backing off of it, because we can tend to do this. And we're talking about financially thriving, folks, okay? That doesn't eliminate all the areas and aspects of our life. But I don't know about you, I feel a sense of thriving when I don't have so much attention on, do I have enough money to share and to spare? So we're not shying away from it this month. All right, so today I have something in store for you. I have a 100% money back guarantee. Are you in? 100% money back guarantee. I might even say it's 1,000% money back guarantee. I might even say it's actually a 10,000% money back guarantee. Are you in? Okay. If not, shut your Zoom and shut your stream off, and but I know we're in. And I was thinking about this, and I was questioning, and I want you to question this. Truly, how many things in life are actually guaranteed? Yeah, y'all have a few, right? So do a quick scan, think about it. How many things can you count that are actually absolutely guaranteed, right? I bet we could count them on one hand. We won't go past 2. If we're born, we're going to die, right? I heard taxes, paying taxes. I don't know if that's guaranteed. But what things are actually guaranteed in our life? So I want you to know that there's actually a guaranteed way, I promise you, a guaranteed way that you can have more prosperity in your life. I promise. I promise you this. So, sometimes when we look at an item and we don't know much about it and we're shopping, when it says 100% money back guarantee, we tend to take that little leap of faith, aren't we? We have a little bit more faith. Well, if it doesn't work out, I get my money back. So it sort of helps us. Like there's no risk involved, right? I want to tell you whatever I'm going to share with you today, there's no risk involved. And the other thing, think about this as we move through life. What happens when we hear about a new restaurant? What happens when we hear about a great movie? How about a great place to travel, right? Things like that. When we've heard it from somewhere else, somebody else, and what if we start hearing more and more of that? No, you really have to go see that movie. Oh, you really have to eat at this restaurant. No, you really have to go to Costa Rica with Peter and Karen in January. And there it is again. And so, we keep hearing about it more and more, we're more likely to do it, aren't we? And we actually expect to have an incredible experience from it. So here's the deal, y'all. Today, I'm your financial coach. You've hired me. Thank you very much. You've hired me to be your financial coach. And I'm actually making this also, I'm telling you the truth. I had this hit a few moments ago, so I can go, no, really, Karen, do not back off from how you need to be their coach today. I'm doing this for my granddaughter. So when she's 18, whether I'm here or not, she's going to watch this. And I'm going to be her financial coach too, because she's going to need it. So I'm your financial coach. But let me be clear, I'm not your personal coach. Honey, I'm still working on my physicality. So, I'm not going to be your personal trainer. Let's be clear. That's not what I'm going to be today. But I want to talk to you like you think about a personal trainer. I am your financial coach. What happens? If you follow what a personal trainer says and you actually trust what they're saying is going to work out, you tend to start wanting to do it. And it does work. If you work out the way that they tell you to do it, don't you get stronger? It doesn't if you don't. And if you do it consistently, what happens, right? You start getting stronger and stronger, and you're wondering, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then eventually what happens? You're like, I got guns. I'm a little lacking. I have to get back to the gym. We're not watching this one. It hadn't had movement in almost a month. Eating right, same thing. This is why I'm not your personal trainer. I'm still working on this. But what happens? I just talked to Val this morning because she consistently has been doing something, whatever, released 100 pounds. Okay? I want to be like Val. Maybe she can be your personal trainer, but right now, I'm your financial coach. And I say this for you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, not for anyone else, and not really for this community, though your mind's going to try to trick you in a minute and have you think that way. I am your financial coach for you. And it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It actually doesn't. It doesn't matter these things I'm about to tell you, whether you've been doing it all your life or you haven't. We have to start today, where we are right now, to get more financially fit. All right. So I'm going to share these things, and I guarantee you more financial prosperity in your life. And these things have been proven over and over. This is not rocket science. It's been proven over and over and over again. And some things, and especially one thing, for thousands of years. So the first thing your financial coach is going to let you know is I had to realize something. I had to realize and believe something that helped me to hold money a little bit differently and my financial health a little bit differently. The first thing, and it took me a while to grow into this, but I want you to start realizing and understanding that the universe that we live in is a fluidic creation. It's eternally flexible. Like, it's fluid. Nothing is constant, nothing is stagnant, and it's always flowing. It's fluid. That also means that it's always in a state of flux, isn't it? Look at your entire lifetime and what you've seen with nature and planet and any example you can. Politics, it doesn't matter. It's always in a state of flux, isn't it? Never stops or stands still for an instant. And this energy is forever and ever expanding itself. And I needed to understand that. And when I started to do this, I'm like, wow, okay, all right, it's fluid. So it's good and very good to see yourself like this fluidic universe, a flexible universe. It's guided by intelligence, infinite intelligence, much bigger than mine, right? And to deal with your universe, your financial universe, as a flowing thing. And this especially means your prosperity. Your prosperity is a flowing thing. You immediately stop your own prosperity when you conclude that your prosperity is money in your bank, your investments, etc. If I open up my Raymond James account on a monthly basis, which I don't, not even really a quarterly, call me silly, but you know, and I go, oh, it's down, and then I close up, and then I clinch, and then I go, oh my God, we've lost money, and oh, what am I going to do for retirement, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm starting to really get clear in my subconscious that I have lack, I don't have enough, oh, I better pull back, and oh my gosh, no, it's fluid. Just like the tide, it sort of moves in and out, up and down. Because I could pull that out, and then actually it would have gone up next month, but I pulled it out of those investments. Then I lost money, right? And so I started to hold it like an inlet and an outlet, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I began to work with this real idea that the universe in which I am in is self-sustaining. It knows how to self-sustain itself. So are you willing to live in a state of financial flux and live in a state of financial flexibility and meet it without fear? Like Karen says, she's my trainer. Don't go into fear. It's fluctuating. What happens? What happens when enough people get into fear? It's a run on the bank, isn't it? Then what happens? So in our own lives, we can do this. And to just start working with it in that moment when you see there's a flux. Either way, I have enough money. Because we don't. We tend to cling, clutch, and hold on to. And that has greater impact. As your financial coach, I need you to know that. One of the big examples for me mentally was when I had decided to start my own ministry in 2013. That didn't happen due to substantial different, my relationship blowing up. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to live in the most expensive place in the Bay Area anymore. Not much money in the bank. And I was starting a ministry, now what I'm going to do. And then Peter said, come do ministry with me. I went, oh, okay. But I had been in sales for 23 years. That was my prior career before going into ministerial school. And I didn't ever have a ceiling on what I earned. I got a salary and. Salary and. And there was a lot of and. There was lots of ands. Salary and. And then I took a salary as a minister, and I'll never forget when I was driving, literally moving from California to Texas here, almost 10 years ago. I started feeling it. Oh, wow. I'm only going to get the salary now. How am I going to be prosperous? And I went, oh, no, wait. The universe is self-sustaining. The universe is fluid. Source is not my salary. Just stop that thinking now. Because I knew that if I started to do that and believe it, that would have been my only inflow. And it wasn't. It wasn't. So I had to watch my consciousness every time that I told myself, now I'm here, I'm on my own, I'm living by myself, I'm buying a house here, et cetera, and I'm on a salary only. I had to make sure that's not where I went. And I had to keep training myself so that I know it's fluid. Okay, second thing. Sell yourself if you have to, but however you can get there, you got to know that money is a spiritual idea. It's a spiritual thing. Spiritual. You hear your coach? It's spiritual. It's not outside the realm of spirituality. It actually is spiritual. And it took me a while to do that until it becomes automatic, like a subconscious pattern in you. This is what Raymond Charles Barker says about it. He says money is God in action. Use the word spirit, universe, whatever you want, instead of God. But money is God in action. In fact, get that little book of his. That's the title, Raymond Charles Barker's. Money is God in action. Oh, it's so worthwhile. It's priceless. And so begin to have this subconscious conviction over and over again. This is what I've done for years. I always have enough money. I always have enough money to share and to spare. I always have enough money to share and to spare. At every moment, I have enough money to share and to spare. And I've been implanting that, like working out every single day and eating the right foods. I have more than enough to share and to spare every single day. So finally, I don't even have to think about that often, except for at the times I need to remind myself that I do, because it's fluid. And so begin to arrive. Even if you're having financial difficulties, trying to make ends meet, it merely means, quite honestly, that you haven't convinced your subconscious mind that you always have plenty to share and to spare. And the only person that can convince us of that is the person. So, when we do get it, then we don't need to have that financial coach, that spiritual coach about money. And we don't have to spend as much what many of us call spiritual coin. We don't have to spend it there. We spend it elsewhere. So like Karen, eat the right foods and work out every day. I am healthy and whole in every way. That's my growing edge. Right? Okay. 3. Life unabashedly gives to itself fully and freely. This is the third key thing that I have just understood. I imagine this thing called universal presence, God, spirit, whatever we choose to call it, the thing itself, and I just always see it like unabashedly, fully, freely. That's big. I mean, there's no end to this stuff, this divine oceanic substance, and I just keep seeing it and holding the vision that it just unabashedly gives fully and freely, it never, ever, ever, ever holds back giving it to itself. That also means it must never, never, ever hold back in receiving. Same thing, right? So I just remind myself if I feel like I'm holding back, I start to hold back on something, especially money. No, life just unabashedly gives to itself fully and freely. I am that I am. I am too. Because sometimes I need help. 4, let's talk about the law of circulation. Even Rhonda Goodnight just talked about that. The law of circulation, very, very important, right? Ernest Holmes tells us that life is an eternal givingness, the offering of the cosmic self to the joy of its own fulfillment. I just love that. I feel the joy. You and I are part of this joy, he says, and we find fulfillment only as this joy passes through us to others. Everything moves in circles. We short-circuit our own good when we refuse to pass it on. I've done some silly things in this sanctuary in the past in the month of October. I had a tourniquet on my arm. Made it so, I had it on there so long just to prove the law of circulation in my own body that people were so scared I was going to faint. They were saying, please don't ever do that again, so I'm not going to do that today. But our blood circulates, doesn't it? Our breath circulates. Do you know that all cells in our bodies need oxygen to create energy efficiently? And when our cells create energy, they make carbon dioxide. That's not so good for our cells. So we get oxygen by breathing in fresh air, and we must remove the carbon dioxide from the body by breathing out. Life moves in the circle. I must take in the oxygen, but I have to expel the carbon dioxide. And when I expel that, even though it might not be good for me, guess what? It helps other things. So don't hold on to it. It's the law of circulation. Everything moves in a circle. So money is a brilliant symbol of exchange, and that's how I'd like for you to hold it as your financial coach from here on out, that it's spiritual, and it's a symbol of exchange. So we know that when your blood is circulating freely in your body, you're healthy. When money is circulating freely in your life, you're actually economically healthy. If you're not economically healthy right now in your life, I'm telling you the number one condition that's brought it on is you, I just know it, have not been freely with expelling. That's hard to hear. And I know I'm a minister saying that. We'll get to that in a second. So it is movement, it's an exchange, it's flowing, right? So we can't cut off, it's just a symbol. It's one of the best symbols we have for the law of circulation, for this thing called exchange, in and out, in and out. I can assume that circulation then is necessary in my own bank account, my own pocket, and more than this, my mental attitude about money. So I got to tell you, the past 3 or 4 months in our household, oh my God, we have been expelling money. A lot of it. Petra's shaking her head. I'm telling you, the past 3 or 4 months, maybe the past 6, I'm not sure, but I know for sure the past 3 or 4 months, it just feels like we've been expelling money with unexpected expenses. At one point, we both, in the same conversation, ended up saying it's time to stop the bleeding. And I thought about this. I'm like, oh my gosh, stop the bleeding. Yes, she's right. And in fact, we just had another big, unexpected. We knew it was coming, but I finally got the car done, so then there was another $1,884. And it was like, bam, unexpected outflow, stop the bleeding. So I did. 2 weeks ago after giving my other talk. I went home and I doubled my giving to this community. And I stopped the bleeding. I did that for me and Petra, because I knew that was the one way, because I realized, oh my God, I'm not tithing. I actually gave myself a raise in my own company, but I didn't up my giving. Oh my gosh, I got to stop the bleeding. I just had that realization, and I was so joyful to go, woo, I'm giving CSL Dallas more money. I've stopped the bleeding. And here's what I can tell you. I guarantee for most people, this is what happens, because I've been a minister now for 10 years. And a practitioner for, thank you, Sharon, a practitioner for longer than that. So I came into Science of Mind in 2007, but I was a deep Jesus freak Christian. And so I was tithing. I've been tithing for well over 20 years. That's why I'm so financially free. And so what I do know is true for most people is when money gets tight, the first place they go to stop the outflow is spiritual giving. Giving to where they're spiritually fed. And what that's saying is, when you pull back there, my first place is I stop eating out, folks. That's my choice. I just do that. I stop eating out because it's expensive. But if one starts there to pull back on where one financially gives, this is what you're really telling the universe. I don't have enough. I don't have enough to share and to spare. I don't, Spirit. I just don't. I don't have it. And the universe says, you are so right. You don't. If you feel and have the experience of not having enough money, the way through is to give money away to where you are spiritually fed. Even if it's 10, 100, whatever it is, please do it. As your coach, I'm telling you, do that. Start there. Okay. Another one. This is so important, the joy in giving freely. Because when we give, how are we giving? Ernest Holmes says that in reality, we cannot fool God or each other. There is something in us that knows the real from the false. It is because in the universe, we cannot set up a camouflage. I love this. He says, there is an all-penetrating eye, an all-hearing ear, and an all-knowing mind, and we cannot resist the inevitablities of the law of our own being. We should withhold every gift unless we wish to make it. So don't make the gift out of guilt. Don't make a gift out of shoulda, coulda, woulda. Don't make a gift because, if you're going to make a gift, you make it in joy. You give it. Because Ernest Holmes says we should give only when the gift and the giver are one and the same thing. If we want to get the most from life, we can only do it if we have first given the most to ourselves, then the response comes back to us multiplied. So when I went home and moved that up, doubled that for my monthly giving to this community, I actually did that for myself first, and I knew this community would benefit. Because I do know how that works too, right? So this includes money, and remember, money is a spiritual idea, right? So the gift and the giver must go with it, and it must be given freely and in joy. So every time, like even if it's taken out automatically, or you do it, I get the little text, thank you, every Sunday. I see who's given to Venmo. I love that. I just think of y'all. But when you give, whenever it is, or remember it's being drawn out of your bank account, and you're here on a Sunday, or you watch on Wednesday night, and so you give to CSL Dallas, you're giving where you're spiritually fed, wherever you're spiritually fed. Do it with joy. Yay! I'm so happy I'm giving this. It's important. And I think I was raised on the concept that nothing is mine. Nothing. Nothing is mine. So I'm just the through point through which everything is given. It's not my house. When I'm dead, it's not mine. But everything just moves through me. And so I have great joy in giving, and I have great joy in tithing. And there it is. This is when the financial coach has to get really serious with you. if you really want a financially prosperous life. I believe in order to really get there, you have to eventually get to tithing. So here it is right here. This is where I believe the rubber meets the road. And this is the 100% money back guarantee. This is where I actually, as your financial coach, take a stand for your financial health, and I will not back off. The reason why I won't back off is because I started teaching foundations here almost 10 years ago. And when I first started teaching foundations and we got to this topic of spiritual giving, I did back off. But I think it was about year 2 or 3. It wasn't the first class I met. Sorry for all the 66 who showed up and I backed off. I apologize. But year 2, and especially year 3, oh my God, did I lean in to what I'm sharing. And thank God I did, because I've gotten to witness only one of many examples. Kia Tillman's life. Are you here, Kia? Yes, she is. I have witnessed Kia Tillman's life change so significantly financially. She is financially free because she went, I'm going to start tithing. She made that decision. And I didn't back off of that. And this is unfortunately what happens. We come from a society where no matter what profession we do and we are, there's some good ones and there's some not good ones. And unfortunately, there are some people that have a license that call themselves a minister, a pastor, a rabbi, whatever, doesn't matter. There are some that we've seen examples of, and all the church just wants my money because now they have a house and they have a car and they have a Learjet. And so what happens? We're like, I ain't giving you my money. And the only individual that really is harmed there is the one that says, I ain't giving you my money. So let's just forget about all those bad apples and those bad examples, okay? Peter Weldis has been doing ministry for over 30 years, and the only thing she's ever asked for is, I want to have, what's your phrase? As it relates to your compensation, I want to have a, yes, living wage. That's the phrase I was after. Thank you. See, the people know her. And she said that for over 30 years. I want a living wage. And she has more than enough to share and to spare. So this is, I tend to leave this for last, and from here on out, I'm going to put it first in a message. Okay? I want you to understand, I don't do Bible verses much anymore, if at all. But I want you to really understand this one, because there is so much power in this. For thousands upon thousands of years, this started way before religion started, okay? It's Malachi. There's lots of versions. This is one I actually like. It says, bring the entire tenth to the storerooms in my temple. Just say to my house, whatever. Then there will be plenty of food. Test me. The universe is saying, test me this way. That's what the universe is, come on, test me. Then you will see that I will throw open the windows of heaven. I will pour out so many blessings that you will not have enough room to store them. Oh my God. And it's this first fruits. It's so important. It took me years to understand this, to believe it, and to start practicing. And by the way, I started practicing on 1%. I'm not going to go out and pick up 150 pounds right now when I start to work out again. So I did. I started with 1%. And then, wow, then next year, 2%. Boom, boom, boom. It took me years until finally, when I reached 10%, I was in my 20s. When I reached 10% gross, I don't play with it. Everything in my financial life changed. I've always had more money than the share and the spare, no matter what the W-2 said. And when I got with someone and married her that does the same, watch out, folks. We always have more than enough to share and to spare. Do we have millions in the bank? No. But let me tell you, some of y'all know how we live, and it's really nice. Because we tithe. Because it says right here, right now, when I give it first, I'm saying to the universe, because I'm giving it first to where I'm spiritually fed, because I know I have enough. And the universe says, right on, you do. So I share this for you, okay? It's so important. And let me tell you one more story. Someone years ago took my spiritual economics class, and this too came up, this thing called tithing. And he listened to it, and he heard me, prove me now, test me on this. All right, I'm going to do it. And he did. He went right to tithing. Next thing I know, he has the best job, huge income, best job, like within 3 months of tithing. It's like, great. Then I heard, I have a new house, I have a swimming pool, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, great. And then I heard, oh, I got a new car, great. And I didn't hear from him for a few years. And the next time I did hear from him, it was an email saying, I just want you to know I have a lot more bills, and I'm pulling back on my tithe. What did I say tends to happen when our expenses go up? I haven't heard from him since. I trust he's doing well. And if not, he'll start tithing again. So, if we don't work out, we know the outcome. Our body doesn't stay strong if we don't eat healthy. Eventually, we do know the outcome. So I'm telling you, I'm asking you, as your financial coach, you've hired me. You're paying me big bucks right now. I don't get a salary here anymore. I'm telling you, start where you are. Start now. Do not put this off. Start giving to where you are financially fed. I owe it to you to press in on this so hard today and for my granddaughter's sake. So, we want you to tithe or start your, again, 10% it doesn't have to be. I think it's some magic number that makes you just stretch and go, oh, this is a big number. Test me. I can promise you this, I can guarantee you this. Anyone that has started this process has never come back to me and said it doesn't work. So we want you to start giving fully and freely to where you're financially fed or spiritually fed. We trust that you're spiritually fed here. So we're going to pass out pledge cards because this is the day for you to start where you are. So I'm going to ask you to pass out pledge cards, and you're going to get a link online to start where you are. Now, let me be clear. This is for 2024. This says you can start now, but it's really starting in 2024. What are you willing to have faith that you have more than enough to share and to spare? Because this is causal, folks. You will have more than enough to share and to spare. And what are you willing to say, I'm going to give it here? If you're spiritually fed somewhere else, give it there too. But I'm asking you to give it here. If you watch videos at any time during the week, you're spiritually fed. If you pass on our videos, you watch Peter's Science and Mind classes. We have ministers that watch our Science and Mind classes. You're spiritually fed here. Make a pledge. Whether you belong to another spiritual community, New Thought community, you can still be spiritually fed here. You can make a pledge, and no pledge is too large and no pledge is too small. And guess what? I haven't made my pledge yet, so I'm about to do it real time with you. Petra made hers. And now, Petra, I'm going to turn over to her, and I'm going to say, I want you to stretch more too. So get another card and up your pledge. Please. So she's going to stretch. I'm going to stretch, and I'm going to make my pledge. So play some music. Would you do, Brad? Where's Brad? Our piano player? Oh. Jonathan, come up and play a little music, please. I don't see Brad. Is he here? Okay. All right, come on up. And every single pledge counts because collectively, what we have faith in our own lives, and we are willing to commit to next year to do this for this community, this ensures that this community continues to thrive. Yes, and so we get to be here, we get to be online, we get to now have a podcast, now Sunday night's been added, Science of Mind class, things like that, we get to do this. So Brad's going to play just a minute or two. Petra, I'm going to throw you a pass here. Will you come up while we're doing this? He's going to play. And I'd like for you to do a spiritual mind treatment for everyone's financial health, because I still have to fill out my card. So will you do that on a mic? And do that while he plays. Everybody at home, online, if you filled out a pledge card already, hold that amount in your heart. Just know that you should prosper. And let's fill these out right here and right now on Pledge Sunday.
The baskets are being passed. You can just take a pledge card out of the basket if you have not yet done your pledge. All right, so let's just take a moment. And as we are contemplating all of this great circulation, we contemplate the love of the universe. We contemplate love as the self-givingness of spirit to creation, into creation, as creation. That the love of life, of spirit, is forever pouring itself in, through, and as all the beauty, all the joy, all the love, all the expressions of life, all beings everywhere. And that life is each one of us, all life. Feeling that impress of spirit, knowing that as it flows in, through, and as us, it is not only blessing our lives with love and joy, but also with prosperity, with good, with abundance, with health and wholeness. And so how good it is to know that as we are receiving the good, that Spirit is forever pouring into our lives, how effortless it is to pour some out in gratitude. Being thankful. Thankful for all that we have. Thankful for being enough. Thankful for having enough. Thankful for having enough to share and to spare. That pledge, that gift becomes a effortless gratitude. I have enough. That gift becomes a claiming of the good. That gift becomes a good as it moves out into the world. That gift becomes a good as it comes back to us tenfold. And over and over and over again. Love is shared. Good is shared. Money circulates, and all life prospers. How good it is to be a part of this flow, how good it is to be a part of life, how good it is to know that this is the way it works. And so we trust in this process as we stand forth in that good. We let it be, and so it is.
Your coach is here for you at any time.
as you begin this journey and this adventures in spirit. Thank you so much.
Oh, and you can just put your pledge cards in the basket as they're about to be passed.
Now, let's all show love for our beloved community. We invite you to give generously to the work of CSL Dallas, knowing that as you give, the law of circulation multiplies this gift to you and to so many others multiple times over. Thank you. Let's begin by affirming with our abundance together on screen. I accept a greater experience of life's infinite bounty. I am abundant and thriving, grateful, share, and prosperity. CSL Dallas, the thriving community, we gratefully share our gifts with the world, and so it is. There are many ways to give: text giving, Venmo, PayPal, auto tithing, or use the basket being passed around. Pick which option works best for you. Before we get into our closing announcements, Chris Gallant from our community service team has special news to share. Can Chris come up to the podium, please?
Good morning. I'm Chris Gallant. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Community Service Steering Committee here at CSL Dallas. And I was asked to say a few words about the Gooch Elementary Thanksgiving Dinner Drive. It's a lot of words. Starts today, and of course I said yes. I love this community, and I love what we can do for the students at Gooch and their families through the events that we have with them. So I know many of you probably know all about Gooch, but for those of you that don't, Gooch is a school here in the DISD that has many students whose families live below the poverty level. And so when we found out about Gooch about 13 years ago, we decided to adopt them and partner with them to see how we could help. So many wonderful things have come out of this partnership with them, but I was only given 2 minutes up here. So I'm going to focus on the Thanksgiving Dinner Drive, which essentially is CSL Dallas Committee, the Community Service Committee, accepts donations. I just really have to move this out of the way because I talk with my hands. Can you still hear me? Okay. So we accept donations, and those donations are used to help buy the groceries for Thanksgiving dinner for families at Gooch Elementary. And I feel really strongly about this because I know that for myself, Thanksgiving is that time to get together with family and friends and feel that connection and have that opportunity to reflect on all the things that we are thankful for in our lives. And so I believe that we want to help at least 100 of the families at Gooch have that same experience. So our goal is 100, but here at CSL Dallas, we believe in busting out goals, right? So I say at least 100 families and more, 100 more. So the way that we do this is we are accepting donations 2 different ways. We have a table out there in the breezeway, and we'll be taking donations today and the next 2 Sundays. Each family that is chosen to participate receives $50 towards the groceries for a Thanksgiving dinner. And then you can also donate online at csldallas.org/give. Then there's a drop down that you can choose Gooch from. So either way that you decide to donate, we will happily and gratefully accept your money. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that whatever you give, when you're giving to something like whether it's Gooch Elementary or it's to CSL Dallas, whether you give $1 or $5, it's actually free in the eye of the universe, because whatever you give, you'll get 100% back. So thank you for whatever you give. I appreciate you. Have you met our Artist of the Month? Linda Matthews is a longtime community member and dedicated volunteer who oversees the Artist Corner, the Trunk Show, and many other creative events. As a talented painter, she embraces the vibrant world of colors and textures and paints realistic, magical landscapes that will leave you in awe. Be sure to check out Linda's paintings in the Artist Corner by October the 29th. Immediately after the Sunday celebration, you can receive a free spiritual support session with one of our licensed spiritual coaches. If you're on campus, head to the Peace Room. For those of you online, a link is being posted in the chat room for you via Zoom. You can also fill out a spiritual support request form and place it in the wooden box at the back of the sanctuary, or fill out the form in the chat. After you receive our spiritual support session, head over to the STEM room by 12 o'clock for our CSL Dallas 101 with Managing Director Brian Ebmeyer. Free snacks and childcare are available. If you can't stay in person, join Brianna online this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Similar to the CSL Dallas 101, next week Dr. Petra will be offering an in-person and online Science of Mind 101. This is a great way to receive an overview of philosophy and ask questions about what we teach here at CSL Dallas. Learn more at csldallas.org/events. Now let's close our time together with our amazing music team.